Well, after 2 years of being cooped up, many Americans are planning to take an epic vacation in 2022.
But how do you plan for that with so much uncertainty in the world?
CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg has some advice as he joins us from Saudi Arabia.
But the reason why I'm here is, keep in mind, here's a kingdom that was closed to visitors for over 79 years. It's just reopened in the last year and a half to tourism. But where I am on the Red Sea, a little bit north of Jeddah, they have 90 undiscovered, unexplored, pristine islands in the Red Sea that they're just beginning to develop. I'm checking out what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Oh, that's incredible. What an adventure. We can't wait to see your pictures. You know, Delta is asking the Department of Justice to set up a no-fly list for unruly passengers. What do you think is the likelihood that that's going to happen?
Well, it is going to happen, but not the way Delta wants it to happen. Last September, their CEO asked all the other airlines as an industry move to combine all their banned passenger lists into one industry list so that you couldn't get thrown off a Delta plane and then go off and get on a United plane. That didn't happen. So now the CEO is asking the Justice Department for a federal no-fly list on banned passengers. The Justice Department gave a sort of a milquetoast response saying they will hold people accountable, but did not commit to that list. Chances are we're going to have to go back to an industry-wide list. But if you put the numbers in perspective, nearly 6,200 cases of unruly, disruptive, or violent passengers. How many of those were actually prosecuted? About 30. How many were convicted? Less than 15. So that no-fly list may not have the teeth that it needs federally, but you could do it as an industry-wide situation.
Let's talk about the mask mandate for U.S. airline passengers, which expires March 18th. What does your crystal ball tell you?
Well, March 18th is the decision date in which they have to decide whether or not to extend it. And keep in mind, the metric that they use is the vaccination level of Americans, which is not yet high enough to satisfy the CDC. My guess is way before March 18th, probably around the 1st of March, they'll extend it through the end of May.
Oh, interesting. We'll see what happens. A lot of people are hoping to travel internationally for the first time in a long time. I understand Australia is opening up for the first time in 2 years. What other countries are also opening in time for a spring or summer vacation?
Well, that's right. Australia opens up February 21st. We've seen the Philippines open up. We've seen, in a much more interesting way, France getting rid of some testing requirements, Portugal getting rid of testing requirements, Greece getting rid of testing requirements. So you're going to see country by country starting to do that. There still is that test requirement for returning Americans that you have to have a negative COVID test 24 hours before you come home. But the trend is out there now. More and more countries opening and less restrictions once you get there.
Airfare seems pretty high right now. If you're looking to book a spring or summer travel, is it worth waiting or book now?
Oh, no. You want to book now because airfares are rising on average 7% every 10 days, and that's compounded. So if you look at the calendar, it doesn't take long to realize that if you wait, you're going to pay more. But you can still book strategically to locations that have a lot of excess capacity right now because not everybody's booking now. That's why you want to book now.
Peter, good to see you. As always, enjoy Saudi Arabia.
You got it, Mark and Susan.
We'll see you soon.
Great to see you. Thank you, Peter.